Here we go. Time for another e4 opening. Oh, Osmir, Brazil. Sicilian. Play a open Sicilian. Everything following the main line so far. Oh, that's unusual. So this allows white to set up a Maroczy bind. Kind of encourages it, really. The normal knight move there is knight f3 attacking the pawn, so that this knight will come out in front of the c pawn. And if I can play a Maroczy bind, I guess I should. So he attacks. This is a position where maybe I can play bishop e3 and give up that pawn. Is that true? Bishop e3, queen takes. Well, queen takes hits the rook and it hits this knight, which is defended. So I just have to move this knight, because the queen and bishop are defending the knight. The queen and knight are attacking it. So I just have to move my knight so the rook is defended. But it doesn't have a good square to go to. Okay, so I can't just can't just play bishop e3. So I'll take the knight. Yeah, let's develop. I was thinking of playing b3 there, but it's a bit slow. I mean, I want to be able to develop this bishop at some point. I don't necessarily need to defend the b pawn in all cases. So let's get my bishop out and prepare to castle. And we'll leave the queen side alone for now. Deal with that at a later time. Decide what we want to do there. I mean, I've got all of my center defended here. I still have a bind on b2. On d5, rather. Bind on d5. b2 is this square, which I was also thinking about. Okay, didn't want me pinning his knight. Let's defend this way. And now I can play bishop e3 with the tempo. He really wants me to play b3. I gave up and played it. Also, knight to a4 might have been a move there, but I wasn't so sure. The knight doesn't get to go to c4 in that case like it does so often. So now I get to my bishop e3 move in, and I can pile up on the d file here. And what to do with this knight? That's the question. It's not so well placed there. Probably this bishop comes here and the knight comes around. Maybe it gets into f5. Maybe this bishop. Should come out this way. Giving up the d2 square for the knight. A little period of maneuvering here. See, the bishop is also looking at the a pawn on a7. The queen's defending it. The knight does one good thing, which is if he ever starts to push a5, a4, the knight is controlling the a4 square, so I can take or blockade there. which is useful because it prevents him from trying to create a weakness on the b file there. So he might be going for pressure on, or pushing the pawn to d5, right? I just have 2 pawns covering it, and he's got 2 pawns defending it. So if he were to push now, I take. He takes, I take. He can take with the knight. My knight is pinned. Because my queen is a bit loose there. If I bring my queen over here, then my knight is not going to d2, but actually my knight seems to be occupied. But the knight is not defended either, so okay, so put the queen here. The problem with the queen here is it's blocking the retreat of this bishop. So he can play knight to he can play knight g4 and provoke a trade of one of the bishops, either the light squared one or the dark squared one. Yeah, I think I'll give up the light squared bishop. And set up this light squared pawn structure and a dark squared bishop. Should be okay for me. So what now? How to make progress? Well, first of all, is he going to push? I take, he takes, I take, bishop takes, knight takes. So he's probably not going to push. And that would work even without the queen. But the queen needs to defend this knight somehow. Or I could push forward with the f-pawn. F4, he takes, I take. I've got pressure on the d-pawn. This is defended. I kind of like that idea. He can bring his bishop back to where it was. Hitting my rook. I could bring the knight around to defend. Or to block, and then kick the bishop. He just defends. Okay, I'm going to take those light squares. So now I'm wondering if just a direct attack works here. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and then I lift the rook. After I lift the rook, what can he do? He moves this bishop out of the way. I bring the rook over with check, and the king goes there. So if I lift the rook first, he could have tried bishop to he could have tried bishop to h5 there, skewering those 2 rooks. But I might have just played bishop to, or rook to g3 anyway. This looks pretty dangerous. Let's see. He takes, I take with the queen. He has 1 move, and then the rook is coming in with check. Yeah, he went there, so I was just going to go here. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is a pretty good defense. So rook takes. I could save my rook. Where do I want to put it? bishop takes, and then queen here is not that great. He just retreats his bishop, and his bishop is adequately defended by the king and the queen. So I'll drop back like this. Maybe bringing the knight over is the way to do something with this logjam. I also have the pin here on h3 now that he's put his king on the h file. So he takes on, he pushes forward 2 squares. This allows me to take on passant with check. He has to take with the bishop. Or I could go here, attacking that bishop. King comes forward, or the queen comes over. I think taking on passant and opening up lines is the better approach there. Okay, so rook here, check. I think he just runs away. How about bringing the queen over? So his light squared bishop chased my rooks onto dark squares. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'm attacking and I'm a pawn up, so I guess this is good for me, right? The material is otherwise even. Queen g4 is threatening the bishop. He can bring his queen over to defend. Maybe I just start pushing the h-pawn. There's still a pin on the c-file there. Yeah, I brought the queen over. Queen here is good, though. I think, and then I could put a rook here. Or I can push the pawn here. Plays bishop to h5. I have rook h3, right? It's pinned, and this king can't come over to protect it, and it's attacked. So he brings his bishop out. Yeah, might as well use what you've got. Let's pin that bishop. We can get some mileage out of this. He has to defend with the queen, I guess. Then I can play rook takes check. Yeah, I think that was a big mistake, actually. Allowing the bishop to be pinned on h6. Looks like it's, yeah. But that loses material, right? I get the I get the bishop, and then if he takes, I get the queen. If he didn't take, I was going to get the other bishop because the king moved. Okay, so he's playing on. Let's bring up a rook. Okay, he decided not to play on. Yeah, queen, rook, and knight against rook, rook, and bishop. Yeah, I'm just up a queen for a rook. And he doesn't have any particular compensation. His king is still exposed. So reasonable to resign there. Anyway, good game. I'll check it out in the postmortem and see you guys later. Bye.